Hey everyone, you're welcome to Elevate with Miranda. I'm so excited to have you all here with us today again. And as you know, on this channel, we discuss everything personal development, entrepreneurship, and technology. Today is another beautiful day, and I have with me a very successful tech entrepreneur, Sika Abokoma. She's the co-founder and the chief operational officer of Intelli. She's here to tell you everything you need to know about having that exceptional customer service. She'll be sharing her experience. She's had several experiences in the past with negative customer experience, the best ones. And as a matter of fact, her company had built an exceptional solution to manage all your customer service problems or challenges. And she's here to share from her wealth of experience. Thank you so much, Sika, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Miranda. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm excited as well. You know, I've had a lot of let's say bad experiences with customer service, and I know you have something for me today. So to get started, will you just introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you do right now?
Okay, so I'm Sika. I'm the CEO at Intelli. We're a customer support service company, but we do that through AI and tech. Funny story is that the day that the idea came for this, Miranda was actually with me.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, we went for service, and then
of course,
I accidentally sent a wrong amount of money, had to do like a transfer back to me. So I called a certain telco. I don't want to mention their name. I called several times, went through the process so many times, and ended up nowhere. And that frustration is kind of the way how Intelli got birthed. And eventually now we are doing, customer service at a larger scale for so many industries.
Interesting. Yeah. I was there live, and I felt so bad. The frustration was another level. It took us about a month. Was it 1 month or before the problem was resolved?
She was even more worried than I.
Yeah. So when she spoke, I learned about what they do in Intelli. I could relate to the problem. But before we get into the detail of what Intelli does, can you just walk us through your experience or your journey as an entrepreneur, maybe your background in school and so on?
Okay. So I have a background in accounting. I'm one of those people that your mom is like, do this degree for me, do this degree for me. I wanted to drop out, but my mom was like, no, I'm trying to kill her. So I went through the degree, and I'm actually glad that I did, because I got so much valuable experience going through business school. Having an accounting degree, it's taught me so much and opened my eyes to so many things. So that's how my background started. During my national service, I had the opportunity to work at a program where they kind of taught us tech skills. Just in case you don't know, national service is a mandatory 1 year of work that the government organizes post-university. So that's what I did. And I had my first experience with tech there, a little bit on mobile app development, a little bit of experience with UI UX, and started my first startup, which was called SEM. It stands for Service Market, which was basically a freelance platform for the African market. That didn't really work out, but I wanted to give it another shot, and now we're at Intelli.
Oh, interesting. But I feel like you started the first one. Most people will start the first company, and if it falls off, they'll get discouraged and they'll not want to continue again. But you, knowing that you started the first one, it didn't work out, and you're starting the second one, is there something that drives you into entrepreneurship to start over and over?
Okay. One thing I'll say before I even get into further all of this is prayer. This Intelli idea came through prayer, because that morning before church, I was like, God, please, I need an idea, please. And then that whole fiasco happened. And then even finding my team was also as a result of prayer. I constantly prayed about it, Lord, please help me get the right team, please, all that kind of prayer stuff. So despite it not working out the first time, I believe in God. I work with the Holy Spirit, praying continuously, eventually gives me the strength, gives me the wisdom, connects me to the right people. And that's why I'm still here.
Interesting. You know, we always hear things like every disappointment is a blessing. And you know, the first day you encountered the problem of customer service, we felt like, what kind of problem is this? What kind of disappointment is this? And you say, out of that, you founded the company. Because most often you hear people saying that identify problems. To solve, to start a business, you must be able to identify problems, but the problems are just everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think it's how you take advantage of those problems to make something out of it. That's where the big deal is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now tell us a bit about what Intelli does.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So, Intelli, customer support on autopilot. There's so many industries where customer support, or that support is needed, but it's not fully utilized, right? Let's say you go to a shop, or you're searching online for a product, a course, a school, or maybe even a government organization, right? You send them an email, you send them a text. How many hours are they taking to respond, right? It even discourages you along the line, right? And when they do respond, sometimes they don't even give you the information that you want, and then it's a whole long new wait process, right? And customer support is all about, excellent service, right? Respecting your customers, valuing their time, and making sure that they feel heard and seen. Because it's so painful when you have an issue, right? Especially when it's with a company and you just want help. But it's like that company is not even hearing you, they're not seeing you, they don't care about your problem, they're just treating you nonchalantly, right? And it goes a long way to hinder your company. There's this saying that people remember how you make them feel rather than what you say to them. But for customer service, the person is going to remember what you said to them and how you made them feel, right? So it's important that you have this swift service, and that's what we do at Intelli, right? We automate all those repetitive inquiries, automate all those tasks that like could be easily done, but you just don't have the time to do it, right? So we automate all those customer inquiries, all those customer interactions, so that you can focus on when it truly matters, right? So when there's an escalation beyond the norm, then we inform you, and you can jump in and easily handle those situations.
Okay. So you spoke about excellent customer service. I don't know. Can you just elaborate a bit on that? What you mean by excellent customer service? Because at times you might go to a shop or any place and they answer your questions very well, but you're not still feeling like that's an excellent word. You were feeling excellently. So can you just elaborate on excellent customer service?
Should I use like a relationship example?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, let's say you're with someone, right? Sure, they give you money, they let you do this and that, but then you don't really feel like you have a connection with them. It can only go so far, right? But when someone gives you the time, the attention, you're going through something, they really care. Like if maybe, for instance, you have a date, but they have to cancel, they don't just ghost you, they communicate with you that, oh, hey, this happened, so I can't be with you today, so let's reschedule, right? That's what customer service is to me personally. I think it's about respecting your customer, right? In terms of like communicating with them, getting to know what their pain points are, understanding them, actually listening to them, making sure that they feel seen and heard, and then valuing your customers' time, valuing your customers' like money, valuing their opinions, and actually improving on those things. So that's why I think excellent customer service is like
interesting. So Sika, you're sharing a lot with us. If you're liking this content so far, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and of course please subscribe to the channel if you still haven't. Okay, now let's talk about, I know at times you're giving your best, you're calling your customers, or you're doing all the good things you can do. And especially for a startup like yours or even mine, there'll always be these problems with maybe the initial product, you have bugs and all of this. You try to communicate as much as you want, but you still have this negative feedback. You still have people complaining, they are angry. How can you handle such? How can you leverage those negative feedbacks to give up an excellent customer service?
Okay, so before I jump into answering that, I want to give this little story example. So for instance, the company Toyota, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right. On the assembly production of the cars, they have this like system where like you pull it, and then there's like a notice, right? So every time something was not going well, they would pull this thing, they would give a little notice, then everybody would come together and analyze, oh, okay, this is going wrong, how can we fix it? Right? And this took a lot of time because they kept pulling, having these meetings. It took a lot of time because, every time something is not right, instead of just like treating it any type of way to get it resolved, they were spending the time and effort to get it fixed, right? That's the same way with a startup. When, and eventually the quality of their products significantly improved. Likewise with a startup, your customer has an issue, right? Take the time, pull, truly understand what's going on so that you can actually help solve that problem. And the more you do this, the more you spend time engaging with them, understanding their problems, and actually implementing solutions to their problems, the better your service will become. And also, I understand that like it's a startup, right?
Yeah.
You can't get everything on the first day. That's perfectly fine. But then make sure you're communicating.
Yeah.
Make sure like at least you're building a relationship with them, especially so that when things do go wrong, there's at least a bit of an understanding, right? Between the two of you to kind of de-escalate the situation.
Okay, that is interesting. Now talking about building relationship, I know trust is an essential component in building relationship. You
Yeah.
want to build trust rapport with your customers. How do you go about doing that?
Okay. As I said, communication, right? It said that when you have a startup, you have to talk to your customers every day, right? So talk to your customers, right? If they feel like they're in this journey with you, they're going to trust you,
Yeah.
right? Instead of like just talking to them every once in a while. Obviously, it's like a friendship, right? If you speak to someone every day, if they're giving you progress reports, if like keeping you up with their life, you are keeping them up with your life, that communication, that back and forth communication is going to help build trust over time. And it also depends on how you're positioning your brand, right? That's also something you should definitely look at, like how your brand voice is, how you're communicating with your customers. And also when you make a mistake, right? Fix it. You should acknowledge it, fix it.
Yeah.
And when you say you're going to do something, do it.
This one, it just reminds me like there was a time we break the trust for our customers because we promised them like the first version of the product would be available on a particular day, and we kept pushing like be ready even if you want to pay. Some people even paid ahead of time because we wanted to push the first version of the MVP. So we collected their numbers, everything. The day came and developers told us that MVP is not ready. We stayed another 1 week, the MVP was still not ready. We had their money. At that time, it was even difficult for us to go back to them to even tell them that it's like you gave us money but we don't have the product ready. So I think at that it break the trust, right? Because we could not even go back. Even the next time we wanted to tell them something, maybe give them a promise, we were like, what if it doesn't happen? So in such a situation, you really want to keep them up to date with what is happening, but you're not so sure that you can deliver on that promise. How do you do it?
Okay, I mean, just to piggyback off what you said, communication is important. Even if you can't deliver, right? It's better someone tells you that, oh, hey, we're pushing this back another week, than being left in silence, right? How would you feel? Because at least now you know what's going on through their mind. And back to that relationship building. If you're having this constant communication with them, you're also letting them know, oh, hey, this is an MVP. We're trying our best to, deliver the product. There'll be more of an understanding as well. And maybe if like this is a continuous thing that is happening, if it's in your means, possibly offer them a discount, offer them some sort of perk to kind of cushion that.
Interesting. Because I was just about asking you how you handle like difficult, so angry customers. Maybe they give you money or they are not satisfied. You promised this one and you're giving me something else. I'm not satisfied. I'm not all of those. How do you handle such? Maybe you spoke about discounts. Are there other tips you can handle such customers?
Aside a discount, I mean, listen to them. They want to feel heard. That's the most important thing. Listen to them and do better, right? And keep them updated. Those are the things that we've been using right now to mitigate when we kind of fall short. Don't leave your customers in the dark, right? That's what I'll say. That's the most important thing. And you can't always afford to give a discount. So keep that relationship, build it, like check up on them. Maybe if you can pass by the office, just say.
And I've seen some companies they even celebrate like birthdays, customers, or they send them messages, and that was so cool. At times, I've had some experiences with certain companies. What they do is not really too cool, but the way they treat you, it makes you want to go there over and over. They make you feel like a princess or a queen, and it just keeps pulling us back. But one thing too is, Ghana right now. I've been into a few other countries, and I noticed that some places the way they treat I don't want to let me just say it.
Call it out.
In Ghana, right? I don't think that they treat customers, they give priority to customers. When you go, if you want to buy, you want to get. If you don't want, you leave it. Like I was expecting you go to the market for shopping. They'll not beg you like
no,
if you don't want it, go away. But in other places, let me say I've gone to Nigeria as well, and I heard even in Kenya, like customers are always right. If you go to maybe to a shop, to a supermarket, the customer can say anything he wants to say, and they'll still be there to take care of you. So how do you build that culture, that customer-centric culture in your organization, such that your employees or people working with you, they give priority proximity to customers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at Intelli, for instance, some of our main values include excellence and
Inclusivity.
inclusivity.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So even internally as a company, there's a certain way that we treat each other, right?
Yeah.
And there's a certain standard of work that we have, and we expect that certain way we treat each other, that certain standard of work that we have to be translated to our customers. So it all begins with your company's work culture, because it's not going to be likely that your company's work culture is so great, so excellent,
Yeah.
so wonderful, and then you treat your customers poorly. That's truly a disconnect. It starts with your company's work culture. You invite that into them. The customer is king. Have an excellent standard when dealing with customers, and then it also ends up translating into how you engage with your customers, how you treat them, how you help them, how you answer to them, how you respond to them.
Okay, interesting. So talking about culture, I always at first I used to find it difficult. People say this company, I like this company because of the culture they build and everything. But how do you even go about to build that culture of customers?
It begins with the co-founders. Like it begins with the team and how you trickle that down to managers, employees, interns. So I'm sure at your company you guys had a whole meeting to like decide your values, decide working styles, working cultures, getting to understand each other, and then you found a common ground and came up with values that fit your company. That's the same with what we did, and I encourage all startup founders to do that early stage, so that when things are not going according to the company's culture that has been set, you can call it out and bring it back to the values. So that also translates down the line as well.
Oh, thank you so much. You've shared a lot with us, and just to round up, is there any way we can leverage technology to build an excellent customer service?
Yes, there is.
I know.
So use Intelli, right? Intelli helps with automating customer support on WhatsApp, email, Facebook, Instagram, and those networking channels, so that you can easily handle your customers' inquiries, handle their situations, and easily attend to them when the needs are beyond the normal circumstances. So Intelli really helps with that. Be it an educational institution, a travel agency, you name it, we got you covered.
Oh, they got you covered. So you check Intelli in the description section below. Their website is linked. You can go, and if you want to have maybe a call with Sika for her to explain in detail how Intelli can help your business, feel free to connect with her. Her LinkedIn detail is in the description section below. So Sika, do you have any last word for our audience?
Oh wow, thank you so much for this opportunity, Miranda. It's been a pleasure speaking with all of you, and hopefully please reach out, let's connect. I would love that.
Okay, and if you haven't liked this video, this is the time. Give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. See you will meet in our next episode. Bye bye.
Bye bye.